Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest, and welcome to another article reaction video. I'm going to have fun with this one because I always enjoy reading ARK Invest forecasts for any company they own. And this company has released quite a few valuation model articles. They released one on Tesla last year, June 12, 2024, which was extraordinary. And recently they released a forecast price target for Bitcoin. They released that on April 24, 2025. Now, I do like reading these articles simply because ARK Invest bull case, or just their base case, even their bear case, is overly bullish. When I say overly bullish, I'm being quite nice to the people who do this. I'm not sure how much say Cathie Woods, but I would say she has a fair bit of say when it comes to these articles, these valuation models. But she does tend to be ultra bullish when it comes to AI and automation. She does believe that there's going to be a significant increase in productivity in the United States because of this, and that will translate to the rest of the world as well. She also believes we're heading into an ultra bull market, and I do think it does pay to be a little bit more conservative when you are doing these sort of valuation models, because many things can go wrong and many things do go wrong all the time. Okay, so what I'll do in this video is I'll go through both of these articles, starting with Tesla. Now, Tesla share price is currently $287.21, so not 2,827, but $287.21. The reason I want to make that clear is because if ARK Invest is right, just their base case, the share price of Tesla will have to 10 bag from here within the next 4 years to fulfill ARK Invest projections for this company. Yes, ARK's expected value for Tesla in 2029, $2,600 per share, which is extraordinary. They did use Monte Carlo, so the bull and bear case is tuned to the 75th and 25th percentile Monte Carlo outcomes. I did learn about Monte Carlo back in 2001. Still, a lot of that goes over my head. But they do have an expected value, which is, I would call this the base case, 2,600. Bear case is 2,000. Bull case, 3,100. So even that bear case would mean that Tesla share price would have to go up 7 times from where it is right now over the next 4 years. Now, the reason ARK Invest is so bullish on Tesla is because of one reason, and that one reason is robo-taxis. In fact, they mention here, ARK estimates that nearly 90% of Tesla's enterprise value and earnings will be attributed to the robo-taxi business in 2029, as shown below. So we'll have a look at this in a second. I'll just go up a bit. So Monte Carlo has a range of possible outcomes. So the bear case is sort of like the 25th or 75th percentile. I'm not sure which one it is, 25th or 75th. And the bull case is 25th or 75th. They'll also have, as a very slight possibility, no autonomy. But even their no autonomy case, the share price of Tesla still would go up to $350. And I'd say they've assigned a very low probability of that happening. And I think that is being a little bit too bullish as well. Because over the last 8 years since I've been following Tesla, maybe even longer than that, yeah, probably longer than that, I have found that Elon Musk does tend to be overly bullish as well with what he thinks Tesla can achieve within a certain time frame. And he's always way too bullish when it comes to that. So I think there is a chance that, yeah, sure, maybe robo-taxis will be successful within the next 4 years, but not that successful where really Tesla is just going to be a robo-taxi company. So this is their base case. In 2029, they expect Tesla to produce $1.2 trillion in revenue. Yes, $1.2 trillion in revenue. Now, in the past year, and let's just have a look. In the past year, Tesla produced $97 billion in revenue. So just under $100 billion in revenue, which would mean they are going to increase their revenue 12-fold over the next 4 years. Yes, that is quite bullish for a base case. Even for a bull case, I think this is being ultra bullish. Yes. Anyway, EBITDA, $440 billion, and enterprise value, $8.2 trillion, and 88% of enterprise value, robo-taxis, only 9% electric vehicles, 2% stationary energy storage, and 1% insurance. I can't see any human-driven ride-hail there, but yeah, it looks like robo-taxi. Well, they're expecting robo-taxis to be a massive thing. I do like this table as well. So because this was released 1 year ago, they got 223 actual numbers. So they're forecasting cars sold to increase from 1.8 million to a bear case of 5.8, bull case of 14.4 million. So I even think that is being way over optimistic, because we have seen within the last year that the amount of competition, particularly when it comes to Chinese electric vehicle companies, is quite high. So they've got to get a move on, Tesla, to achieve these sort of goals. Electric vehicle revenue from 81 billion to 250 to 394 billion. I still think that is a little bit over the top. Autonomous ride-hail revenue, $603 billion for the bear case, $951 billion for the bull case, from nothing. Gross margins increasing from 18% to 56% or 53%. That seems fair, because I do think there's going to be better gross margins in autonomous ride-hail or robo-taxis. So that's probably fair enough, that there will be increasing gross margins and also EBITDA margins. Enterprise value by EBITDA, in fact, they expect that to decrease. Which would mean there's a chance that if all these numbers come into actuality, that the share price and the valuation of Tesla could be even higher, because we'd see massive growth, and the market would say, well, we've seen this massive growth, and if that growth continues, I'm willing to pay a bit of a premium for this company. Bull case, market cap, $11 trillion. Yes, $11 trillion with the share price at 3,100, CAGR of 69% per year, and free cash flow yield of 4.1% per year. Okay, so they're also they provided some updates to the ARX 2023 Tesla model. Now, I do expect them to release another one within the next few months. So it's going to be interesting to see whether they've changed their bullishness when it comes to Tesla. I doubt it. In fact, they might be even more bullish. Just don't know. Okay, so a little bit extreme for Tesla. I should also mention I'm a Tesla shareholder, and I do think there is the possibility that robo-taxis take off, but not like this. I think this is being a little bit too optimistic when it comes to Tesla. Now onto Bitcoin. I did go through this fairly quickly. So ARK's price target for Bitcoin in 2030, and again, I think this is being a little bit over the top, but I could actually possibly see this happening. So their bear case is $300,000, which is a CAGR of 21%. That could be fair enough. I think there's a chance that Bitcoin could go that high. And again, I do own Bitcoin, but there's a chance it could go that high, but maybe not the bear case. Base case, 710,000, CAGR of 40%, I'm not sure. And their bull case is 1.5 million. Okay, we're now talking being a little bit over the top with their optimism, CAGR of 58% per year. So what they've done is they've done some sort of total addressable market. There it is, price target, total addressable market times penetration rate divided by Bitcoin supply. And they've looked at all these different factors, including institutional investment, digital gold, emerging market safe haven, national state treasury, corporate treasury, and Bitcoin on-chain financial services. So they really expect the digital gold to really take off and be 60% of their price. If that makes sense. 60%? Yeah, 60% of their price. They go through here it is, anticipated contributors to capital accrual, primary institutional investment, primarily through spot ETFs. But the big one here is referred to by some as digital gold. And remember, this is 60% of the value of Bitcoin, or they're expecting it to be 60% of the value of Bitcoin by 2030. So referred to by some as digital gold, Bitcoin is a nimbler, more transparent store of value relative to gold. So they do believe those gold bugs will turn attention from gold to Bitcoin. I'm not sure if I would go down that route. I'm not sure if I would assume that is going to happen, but it seems like they are assuming that will happen. Emerging market investors seeking safe haven that can protect them against inflation and devaluation. In fact, that's the reason why I do think Bitcoin could really take off in the future, this safe haven. And particularly if we do see turmoil in Western countries, we'll probably see a lot of Western people turn to Bitcoin as well. So I definitely actually think that is a possibility. Anticipated contributors to capital accrual, secondary, national state treasuries as other countries follow the US with Bitcoin strategic reserves. Possible. I do think that's a possibility. Corporate treasuries as more companies diversified fiat cash with Bitcoin. I think that's a possibility as well. And Bitcoin on-chain financial services as Bitcoin substitutes for legacy finance. I won't say anything about that. They also mentioned they were being a little bit conservative. Well, they try to imply they're being a little bit conservative because if we go down here, where is it? So they go through all these different reasons with bulls, bears, and base cases. And they talk about some assumptions, liveliness. If they included liveliness or something in it, then their bear, base, and bull case increase significantly to the point where the bear case is $500,000, their base case is $1.2 million, and their bull case is $2.4 million. And they're saying, well, we're going to be a little bit conservative and not include this in our price valuation for, or price targets for Bitcoin. Anyway, so importantly, the estimates constructed with this more experimental methodology using liveliness are more aggressive than those in our bear case or bear, base, and bull cases. I'd say even their original bear, base, and bull case are highly aggressive. With a more conservative bias, our official price targets focus only on total Bitcoin supply. That said, we also believe that this more experimental exercise highlights that Bitcoin scarcity and life supply are not reflected in most valuation models today. So I'm going to have to go through this with a finer tooth comb because, yeah, this liveliness, Bitcoin liveliness or active supply as percentage of total supply. So that's what they're talking about here. Liveliness metric measures the amount of Bitcoin that has moved over time. Okay, so that's two interesting ARK Invest price targets they have released in the last year. Really interesting articles, and when they release the next Tesla one, I'll be focused on that completely because it's going to be interesting to see if they have changed their tune. I would say not, based off what I've read and heard from Cathie Wood within the last few weeks. She is ultra bullish, not only about these companies, but the economy at large. She does believe that AI and automation will drive significant improvements in productivity within the next 5 or 10 years. She might be a little bit right, but not that right. Anyway, maybe she'll be completely right, and then I'll be saying, she was right. But anyway, that's these two articles. Free to read yourself. You don't have to subscribe to anything. I do subscribe to ARK Invest emails. I haven't bought any ARK Invests ETFs or anything like that. But if you have any questions, any thoughts, leave those in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I am not a financial advisor. If you need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.